everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Montefusco and I'm a lover of all things when it comes to makeup, and today I'm going to be doing a special video and I'm going to be doing some Pride inspired makeup. So I am currently wearing my By Pride t-shirt. I got my bisexual pride earrings on as well, with the pink, the blue, and the purple. So if you all just want to hear a chatty get ready with me while I put on some pink, blue, and purple makeup for Pride Month, then please keep on watching. So as always, I start with my brows, and for my brows, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. brow pencil. This is the Instant Lift brow pencil in the shade Taupe. So I always start with the spoolie up the brows, then go into the pencil part. I was debating whether or not to do this video because, I guess I should give some background here. So I've been out of the closet, to some degree, since I was about 17 years old. So about 6 years now. But I've only been fully out to my family and friends and work for a few months actually. So I came out to one of my parents a few months ago, and that was like kind of the last step that I needed to do in order, I don't know, for me to be fully out and for me not to be afraid anymore of like anybody finding out this information. But I'll chat with you all about like my story. How did I know? Like basically my journey to get to this point while doing my makeup. So I hope you all enjoy the video. Next, I'm gonna take my Wonder Wax. This is from Pink Honey. It's just a clear brow wax. Looks like this. And I'm gonna take this Patrick Ta spoolie and I'm just gonna start laminating my brow hairs a little bit. So just to give you all some background, I feel like that'll be helpful, and that's kind of the point of this video. I've known this about myself for a long time. I don't remember the exact age when I realized this was, something that I am. I don't remember the exact age where I realized, oh, I not only like, boys, but I also like girls and trans people and non-binary people and all of that. But I do remember my kind of like awakening of that, so to say. And that was when I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore in high school, and I did theater in high school, and we were at play practice, and we were playing Never Have I Ever. And one of the questions was, never have I ever kissed someone of the same gender. And basically everybody put their finger down except for me and this other girl. And this really pretty girl, I'm not gonna say her name, but I think she knows who she is. She said, we're gonna change that. And she kissed me. And I was like in shock. And then I was like, oh crap, this complicates things a bit. Because I think before I kind of knew that I liked her and had a crush on her, but that's what made it real for me, and that caused a whole bunch of other issues for me. So now I'm going to go into my Glossier Future Dew as my sort of, what would I say this is? Like a moisturizing sort of base before I go into my primer. Also, I want to put on a headband just so my hair is out of my face. This will come off at the end. So yeah, where was I with the story? So I think I knew I liked her. We were in the same geometry class together sophomore year, and we did theater together, and I always just thought she was really pretty, and she would always forget to bring like graph paper for geometry class, and I would always lend her graph paper, and I'd always give her like extras of graph paper, and like, I don't know, and I always had like these feelings, like these warm fuzzy feelings, and I didn't really know what it was. Now I know what it was. Now I know it was a crush, but I think when she kissed me, I kind of realized what was going on, and that just set a whole really long time of doubt and self-hatred and just feeling really awful for about, I'd say a good 2 years. I felt terrible because I kept it to myself. And then once I started coming out to friends when I was in my senior year of high school, I started feeling a bit better. So now I'm gonna go into my Supergoop Glow Screen. This is my primer, has sunscreen in it, it's great. You might be wondering, why did I feel so awful when I first figured this out about myself? And I would say that's just a lot to do with the background I grew up in. So I am originally from New York, but I moved out of there when I was 3.5. So I've been in the Southeast United States now for the vast majority of my life, for 20 years, thereabouts. So, and then before I lived in Tennessee, I lived in North Carolina, but I've been in Tennessee for over a decade now. So just being in the Southeast, like, it has a reputation for a reason. It's not the most accepting place in the country to live in, which is fine. I mean, you get used to it. I mean, of course I want to change, but it is what it is for now, and I'm trying to change that the best I can through the impact that I have, but that's one reason. Another reason is I grew up very religious, very Christian, Roman Catholic to be specific. And I don't want to say, oh, all Catholics are homophobic, all Christians are homophobic. I know that's not the case. I have friends that are Christian and that are very accepting. So, and I have Catholic friends that are very accepting. So that's not what I'm saying. But I grew up very conservative Catholic. So that brings certain beliefs to the forefront. And next I'm gonna go into this BB cream. This is the CoverGirl BB cream. This is in the shade Fair to Light. It's the lightest shade, of course, and I'm gonna apply this all over my face. And I also went to Catholic school from kindergarten through 12th grade. So I always grew up in a background that told me being gay or bisexual or whatever, if you were not straight, if you were not heterosexual, it was a sin. Not to be it. At least the Catholic Church has, you know, at least the Vatican doesn't say like having the feelings is, you know, a sin. But basically what their belief is that if you're bisexual, like I am, you should only act on the feelings you have for men, or, you know, if the opposite gender. And if you're gay, then you have to be celibate your entire life. So I was always taught like, oh, we should, you know, love the person, hate the sin, you know, being gay is an abomination, it's unnatural, and basically these people have something wrong with them, and they need to be celibate forever. That's what I was always taught. And so hearing that all the time, that message gets internalized into you. So I went through a long phase of when I figured this out, of thinking, I'm disgusting, I'm gonna go to hell. You know, this was not after the first time I kissed a girl, that was not the last time I kissed a girl, by far from that. And so I was not only having these feelings, which, you know, the church I grew up in said that's fine, but I was acting on the feelings which the church I grew up in said that's not fine. So I felt really guilty and gross, and basically like I was just damning myself, and it was a really awful time, just awful. So I'm now going to spot conceal on a happier note with this Pat McGrath concealer. This is in the shade L2. Just going to spot conceal a bit. So for 2 years, I was trying to deny this about myself, but I kept kissing girls. I kept having the feelings. They were not going away. Far from it. They were actually increasing in intensity. And it was just kind of scary to realize this and to try to pray so they would go away, and then they didn't, and it was really hard. So I think I was 17 years old. And I remember this because I feel like the steps in coming out, you first have to come out to yourself, and then you come out, at least for me, then I came out to people that were accepting, and then I knew that would be accepting, and then I moved on from there. So when I was 17, a senior in high school, I remember I was in the shower, just like, you know, doing my thing, cleaning myself, and I just had an epiphany. I was like, Victoria, I remember saying this in my head, Victoria, you are bisexual. And I was like, yeah, like all of a sudden I was like, yeah, that feels right. That label I felt like fit me. I mean, I'm a very type A person, so I like labels. I understand if you don't, but I like labels. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that fits me. And I just felt this sense of like peace come on me. And I feel like that's because I finally knew what to call it, and I finally came out to myself. And it took 2 years for me to realize, like, okay, these feelings aren't gonna go away, and you know what? That's fine. And that was a really pivotal moment for me. So now I'm gonna take this bronzer, this cream bronzer from Tower 28 in the shade Suncoast, and I'm gonna take this Rephr number 4 brush, just an angled brush, and I'm gonna bronze. So soon after that, I remember coming out to my theater friends. I was a senior in high school. I bet it was during play practice. I don't remember exactly the time it happened or how it happened, or how it came up in conversation, but it did, and I told them, and I knew they'd be supportive because they always express their support for the LGBT community, which, you know, was kind of an unpopular stance at a Catholic high school, but they were just so accepting and didn't question it. And I mean, they all said it was kind of unexpected, which I don't blame them for thinking that, because I mean, it was kind of unexpected for me too. Even though I'm sure I had these feelings before, it's just, I think I pushed them down for so long, I didn't realize it for a while. But yeah, they were just so accepting and so kind and didn't question it and just really embraced me, that I'll always be thankful for that. Even though I don't really keep in touch with any of them anymore, I'm really thankful for that. And if any of you are watching by chance, thank you. That really made a huge difference, because they were the first people I ever came out to, and just, yeah, having that be such a positive experience made me more confident to come out to other friends in the future, and then family, and then all of that. So it was a good experience. So after that, you know, I was out to them, and then college came around. And in college, I made some friends. I was pretty open with them from the get-go, just because I felt comfortable, like, yes, this is who I am. And if I make friends and they don't accept it, those are probably not the kind of people I want to be friends with. So that went well. I was very open with it to people I was close to, but I never went to the Pride Center in college at all. I never was involved with, you know, the LGBT community at UT at all. I was just kind of keep my head low. And I think that's for a few different reasons. Again, one, you know, I wasn't out to a ton of people, so I was just trying to, I don't know. I think I just wasn't ready yet. And then also, I had a fear that the LGBT community at my college would not be very accepting of me, and I'll tell you why that is. So now I'm going to be going into cream blush, and this is the Color Nectar Pigment Balm from Rituel de Fille in the shade Ladybug. I believe this was limited edition, so you can't get it anymore, but I love this formula. It is great. Rituel de Fille just makes great cream cheek products. So continuing the story, I met my boyfriend, who I've been dating for over 4 years now, which is crazy. I met him on Tinder when I was at the end of my freshman year of college. So I put in my profile, you know, I'm bisexual, because I didn't want that to come up later and then realize I was dating a homophobe or something, you know, or realize I was dating someone who's gonna fetishize that, you know, that kind of thing. So I was very open with it on Tinder, and the responses from women were cool with it, because, you know, their profile is open to women and they're fine with it, and that was great. Because I opened my profile to both men and women, but most of the men on the app had one of two reactions, which I feel like is a stereotype, and you'll see why that is later, or how that has played into my life later. But the reactions were either homophobic messages, which I'm well, then why did you match with me if you're just gonna send me hate? Or oh, so you want a threesome, basically? And I was no. I'm trying to find someone to go on a date with. I'm not trying to do anything like that. So that was gross and really inappropriate and kind of turned me off of Tinder. But I met my boyfriend on Tinder, so it turned out fine in the end. So now I'm gonna go into the Solaris Rare Light Luminizer. So this is just a pink cream highlighter from Rituel de Fille. I'm gonna apply that with my fingers. So I met my boyfriend on Tinder in, I believe it was April of 2017. And he apparently was on Tinder because he made a bet with his friend that he could get more matches in a day, and he won. But we matched, we started talking, and it just seemed natural. And when he asked me on a date, I never got that like sinking feeling in my stomach that I would get from other people that asked me on dates. It just felt wrong, and I couldn't pinpoint why. But I never got that feeling from him, which was really good. And I'm on the taller side. I'm 5'9", and I feel like, again, that's something that guys tend to not like, at least a lot of the guys I matched with on Tinder. And I got ghosted a lot after I mentioned my height. So I made sure to mention my height. I made sure to be like, are you okay with that? And he was completely fine. He does not care about that. I'm actually a bit taller than him. And I also made sure to be like, are you okay if I'm bi? And he did not care about that either. So I'm now gonna go into the Alchemist Aurum Highlight Intensifier. And this is from Rituel de Fille, and it's a gold highlighter topper. It's really pretty. So we went on the date, it went well, and we've been dating ever since. But he's always been of the mindset of, as long as I like him and I'm with him, like that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what my sexuality is or who I'm attracted to. And I 100% agree with that. I have been with him for the past 4 years. We've been living together for 2, and I have never, ever had any desire to cheat on him, which is such a stereotype. I've never had any desire to like do anything like that. I'm a very monogamous person. And it's okay if you're not. I mean, as long as you're in consensual non-monogamy, like you do you. I don't care about that. But we're both very monogamous people, and we made that very clear, and I've just been very happy in the relationship, and so, you know, that's how it is. I'm now going to go into this under eye corrector. This is the Corrector de Chanel and Rose Corrector. Gonna put that under my eyes. So I feel like another stereotype of bi people, especially bi women, is, oh, you're dating a man, that means you must be straight. And my answer to that is no. It does not mean I'm straight. I would say, you know, if you're watching this and you're straight, if you're, you know, with someone right now, or if you have been in the past, when you have a partner, does that mean you're not attracted to other people? No. I would actually say that whenever I've been dating men, I notice attractive women more than men. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because I'm happy with what I got, and I'm like, I just notice attractive women more. But that's what happens to me. I'm still very much attracted to women. So just because I'm dating a man and been in this long-term relationship, it does not invalidate my queerness and my LGBT plus identity. You know, I really hate when people say that. But it is something important to educate people about, because I feel like that's a common misconception, as well as like the, oh, you must be like a cheater because you can't make up your mind, or bi isn't real, or whatever. Like, all those are stereotyped, and I hate them, and I've heard them all. So now I'm going to go into this Instant Age Rewind Eraser from Maybelline in the shade 100 Ivory. I'm going to put that under my eyes as well. And I feel like a lot of those stereotypes, they don't only exist in straight spaces, they also exist in queer spaces. There's a lot of biphobia, especially in the LGBT community as well. Because straight people are like, oh, you're dating a man, you must be straight, blah, blah, blah. And that exists too in the LGBT community. There's a lot of people, sadly, that discriminate against bi women like me who are in long-term relationships with men. These are like, oh, you walk down the street with your partner, you pass as straight, therefore you're not valid. Or, oh, you know, you present yourself as feminine and then you're not valid. Or, oh, you're just, well, there's actually like, too, I haven't experienced this myself, but I know this is true. So I've heard other people have experienced it. There's lesbians out there that will not date bi women because they don't like the idea of having a partner who's been with a man. or they don't like the idea of having a partner who they think will leave them for a man because they have something they can't give them, which I flippin' hate that. But so it exists everywhere. I feel like I don't fit in both spaces because I'm too queer for like straight people and I'm too straight for gay people. That's what I feel like sometimes, and it just kind of sucks, but it's just the world we live in, I feel like. And I feel like it's gotten a lot better in a lot of the queer spaces that I'm in now. I haven't experienced that, but I was always afraid of that. If I went to the Pride Center at UT, you know, me dating my boyfriend, very femme presenting, like I felt like they were gonna laugh me out, which I've never heard anything like that happen, but I was always afraid of that, you know? So I'm now gonna bake under my eyes with this Coty Airspun powder, and I'm probably gonna get powder everywhere, but that's okay. I guess back to the story. I'm getting kind of off track here, but that's what happens. So college happened. I came out to some friends. My boyfriend knew, started telling like my boyfriend's mom, for example, that kind of thing. And then I decided to starting to come out to my family. So I knew my aunt would be supportive. I came out to her. And then from there, I started feeling really comfortable with myself, but still being cautious, of course, just because I know of the culture where I live in the Southeast United States. I'm also gonna powder my face with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffused Light. I'm also gonna go into this Rephr number 5 brush. Basically all the spots on my face where I did not have cream highlighter. Last year, continuing the story, I've been working at my workplace for 3 years now. 1 year as an intern, and then now 2 years full-time after undergrad. And I decided last summer, because my workplace released some videos for Pride Month and about, you know, LGBT employees and allies and all that, I was like, okay, my workplace is a LGBT-friendly employer. I knew I had support if I would come out, and I came out to some people individually at work beforehand and it all went well. So I decided to come out at work, and that went really, really well too. And so I'll talk more about that when I do my eyes. And so now I'm gonna go into this eyeshadow primer from Milani. I came out at work, I was embraced with open arms, and actually someone who's become a really great mentor of mine at my workplace. She is also the champion for the LGBT employee resource group, and she asked me to be on the core team for that employee resource group. So basically we plan events for LGBT employees throughout the year, especially during June, Pride Month of course, and that's just been an amazing experience for me. So today I'm going to be using 2 Glam Light palettes, the Ice Cream Dream and the Cake palette. These are both very colorful palettes, and I felt like they have lots of pinks, blues, and purples, so it's perfect. So I'm going to take my Rephr number 14. I'm going to go into this very light pink shade called Mochi, and I'm going to put that in the very inner part of my eye. So yeah, that's been a really good experience for me. I've met so many LGBT employees at my workplace and allies, and it's just been a really great experience to get connected to that community, because before I wasn't connected to that community because I was always kind of scared. Again, of that fear that I wouldn't fit in, that they would look at me and say, well, you're dating a man, you know, so why are you here? And I never, ever experienced that. So I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, it's just been a really awesome experience, and I've been really involved in planning a student summit online conference for LGBT college students in the region, just to show them that there are LGBT and friendly employers in the region, including my workplace. And that's been a really great experience because, you know, I was in undergrad recently, and I remember what it's like, and I remember what students are looking for from these kinds of events. So that's been really great. I think now I'm going to take this Rephr number 15, and I'm going to go into Honey Lavender, which is that shade next to that light pink, and I'm going to blend it in the very middle of my crease into the pink, because we're doing like a pink to purple to blue gradient in the crease. So yeah, that's just been a really great experience. And then this year, just because of all that support And just because I realized, okay, I'm bringing my authentic self to work, I'm bringing my authentic self to my friendships, to my relationship, but I'm not bringing my authentic self to my relationships with my family. And it was just something that was bothering me. Every single day I'd be like, oh my God, I'm not out to, you know, some people in my family. This is really hard. Like I was obsessing over it. I was so paranoid that they were gonna find out some way, in a way that I didn't tell them, but like I'd somehow be outed to them. And I was just so scared of that happening. So I decided to come out to the rest of my family this year, and thanks to that encouragement from the employee resource group, and also thanks to the fact that my workplace offers free therapy sessions, which I'm so thankful for situations like this, I was able to really approach it the right way, and it went a lot better than I expected it. It wasn't perfect, it probably will never be perfect, but I wasn't devastated and heartbroken like I thought it would be. There's not really a great blue in this palette, like a pastel true blue. So I think I'm gonna go into the cake palette now, and I'm gonna tap really gently into Icy Mint and just blend that out in the very outer part of my crease. So I want like a very light touch of blue. So yeah, that's really been my journey so far. It's been a long, hard road to get there. But I'm really proud of who I am, and it's taken me a while to say this, because if you would have asked me a few years ago, hey, would you rather be straight? I would say yes. Like, why would anybody want a more difficult life on them? But I feel like this makes me me, and I just want to be me. And so I don't think I would trade this to be straight. I think I would keep it if I had the choice. So I feel like that's what Pride Month's all about, living your truth, being yourself, as long as it's safe for you to, of course. And yeah, just showing the world who you are, and really normalizing queer people in the workplace and media, all of that. Of course, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, especially in the region of the country where I live, but we've come really far. That's something to celebrate. And also, we have a lot of work to do, and that's something to think about. I'm gonna go back into that purple, honey lavender, again, just in the middle, just to make sure each color is standing out, because that's what we want the eye look to show. So yeah, if any of you are LGBT plus, please let me know, if you're comfortable, of course. I would love to have conversations with you all about this. It's been quite the journey, quite the ride to get here. All right, now I'm gonna take this Refer number 27, and I'm going to go into Birthday Cake, which is this darker blue matte. I'm gonna put that on my outer corner. Really gotta make sure to tap off the excess. Yeah, and if you all are straight too, or heterosexual, or questioning, or anything like that, or even LGBT, and you wanna know more about my experience, if you have any questions about, you know, being bisexual and dating a man and all that fun stuff, just let me know. As long as they come from a good place, I don't mind answering questions. If it's just like something gross or rude or homophobic, I'm obviously gonna delete the question and block the person, because I don't need that in my life. But if it comes from a good place, I do not mind answering questions and all of that. So also, this is the first time I'm ever doing this eye look, so if it turns out badly, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do like a cute little gradient here. I hope it turns out well. That was really all I was planning about talking about, but I can still talk about other things too. I was going to go to a Pride parade in 2020 because that was like the first year I felt comfortable with it. But then the situation happened, and those plans obviously fell through. And there's no Pride parade where I live this year because of, you know, the situation. So next year, hopefully, I will be able to attend my first Pride parade, and that would be really fun. And I would love to go. And I know my workplace does have like booths and stuff at Pride, so maybe I'd go with them. I'm not sure. It'd be fun. So now that I'm done with the mattes on my upper eyes, I'm gonna go into this Too Faced glitter glue just to make sure our metallics really stick. I guess I'll just chat more about my experience. So one of the things I was always afraid of coming out at work is like that my workplace would be very reflective of the culture in the Southeast. I mean, in the cities, it's not that bad, I have to say. But in the rural areas, it can get kind of scary for not only queer people, but also people of color, especially Black people and all of that. So I was a little worried, but that went really well. And I was also kind of afraid that like people would just look at me as like a token, be like, oh, there's our token LGBT person. Like, we gotta put her on interview panels and blah, 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 which I did not want that. So I'm gonna go into the shade Lavender, put that in the middle part of my eye, but that has not been my experience at all. People still treat me like the same person since last year when I came out, and it's just been a very positive experience. So no complaints there at all. And then now I'm gonna go into Strawberry. This is from the Ice Cream Dream palette on the very inner part of my eye. Oh, so many palettes. So now I'm gonna dust off the bake underneath my eyes, and then I will go into lower lash line, inner corner, and then like lips and stuff. We'll be pretty much done. So I'm just gonna take this brush. What is this? This is a Real Techniques 305, and I'm just gonna take that honey lavender color and dust it on my lower lash line. If you want great pastels, I have to admit this Glamlight Ice Cream Dream is my favorite pastel formula for mattes I've ever tried, and the shimmers are just unbelievable. I love Glamlight, and I'm so excited for that Michaela collab that they're doing. I forget what her handle is. I think it's like Michaela J Makeup or something like that. But she is so talented. She loves color, and I love Glamlight. So I'm super excited about that collab that's coming out this month. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna go into French Vanilla, which is that like white shimmery shade. I'm gonna put that in my inner corner and brow bone, and then the eyes will pretty much be done. I love how this look turned out. This looks really pretty. Should I put on eyeliner? What do you all think? Can't decide. I think I will. So I'm gonna go into this NYX Epic Ink liner. Darn it, that's the brown one. I'm gonna go into this NYX Epic Ink liner in black and just line my eyes. I definitely need to break out a new one of these. Look at how frayed this is. Ugh. Yeah, that is the last time I'm using that one. That was a bit rough. So now I'm gonna take my Marc Jacobs At Lash mascara, apply that to my lashes. I wonder what's gonna happen to Marc Jacobs since everything is discounted like 50% off at Sephora. From what I heard, we all thought the line was gonna be discontinued, and it seems like it's not. So I wonder if they're just like relaunching, reformulating, what's gonna go on. But this is a really great mascara, and so if you can pick it up on sale, definitely a good time to do so, because who knows if it's gonna be coming back with whatever is happening to Marc Jacobs Beauty right now. And last but not least, I'm gonna go into the Chanel lip gloss. This is the Rouge Coco Gloss. This is in the shade 172 Tendresse. This is just a really pretty pink. I thought it would go nice with the look today. Also, since my lips are really chapped right now, I didn't really want to put on a lipstick, you know? All right, everybody, this is the completed look. I love how it turned out, and I just feel like it's a really pretty look. Celebrate Pride, and it's just really fun and colorful. And even if it's not Pride Month, even if you're not bisexual, you just want to play with these colors, bam, here's how to do it. So this was a blast. I had a great time just like talking about my experience and all of that, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is like the first video I've done that's been more personal, so it is kind of scary to open up to, you know, 215 people on the internet who I don't really know, but I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope if someone sees this video who hasn't been out yet or hasn't come out yet, and they're doubting themselves, or they went through some of the same stuff that I did, I just hope that they see this and they know that things can get better, and they got a lot better for me, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel when you get older and you meet people that are like you and that encourage you, and that everything turns out okay. At least it did for me, and I hope it does for everybody that's watching this video and can relate, you know? I'm getting kind of emotional, oh dang. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you like the video, please like the video. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also lets me know that you do like these more chatty, personal style videos, so maybe I'll do more of them. If you like me, please subscribe. I'd love to have you all here. And if you have anything to comment down below, anything at all, as long as it's nice and comes from a good place, please comment that down below. So anyways, thank you for spending part of your day with me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.